I'm Keith Stevens along with Donna Cruz, and this is Keep the Faith.
Day-to-day life can be so hectic and even discouraging at times, but the songs and stories on Keep the Faith have been chosen to give you hope and encouragement to find strength in it all. And it sounds like this.
Irreplaceable, unmistakable, incomparable, darling, it's beautiful. I see it all in you.
When you feel like you don't fit in, you're actually onto something really, really good, because that is your authentic self. So I say, fit out all the time. Oh, you're fitting out. Good for you, you know.
My single goal was to have more fun. And quite honestly, it changed everything for me. How I parent, it changed my marriage, it changed how I interact with people who annoy me, it changed how I navigate my work life.
Oh, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy.
Ann Wilson opens up about the tragic event that helped her faith grow and her musical journey begin. That's next on Keep the Faith.
Bring your tithe and bring your shame. Bring your guilt and bring your pain. Don't you know that's not your name? You will always be much more to me. And every day I wrestle with the voices that keep telling me I'm not right. But that's alright, 'cause I hear a voice and it calls me every day. When others say I'll never be enough. And greater is the one living inside of me than he who is living in the world. In the world. In the world. And greater is the one living inside of me than he who is living in the world. Bring your doubts, bring your fears. Bring your hurt and bring your tears. There'll be no condemnation here. You are holy, righteous, and redeemed. And every time I fall, there'll be those who will call me a mistake. Well, that's okay, 'cause I hear a voice and he calls me every day. When others say I'll never be enough. And greater is the one living inside of me than he who is living in the world. In the world. In the world. And greater is the one living inside of me than he who is living in the world. There'll be days I lose the battle. Grace says that it doesn't matter, 'cause the cross already won the war. I am learning to run freely, understanding just how he sees me, and it makes me love him more and more. There'll be days I lose the battle. Grace says that it doesn't matter, 'cause the cross already won the war. I'm learning to run freely, understanding just how he sees me, and it makes me love him more and more. 'Cause I hear a voice and he calls me every day. When others say I'll never be enough. And greater is the one living inside of me than he who is living in the world. In the world. In the world. And greater is the one living inside of me than he who is living in the world. There'll be days I lose the battle. Grace says that it doesn't matter, 'cause the cross already won the war. He's greater, he's greater. I'm learning to run freely, understanding just how he sees me, and it makes me love him more and more. My God is greater than he who is living in the world.
If you're looking for encouragement, you've come to the right place. Keep the Faith.
Looking out my window, feeling the crescendo, sunset on a quiet sea. Sitting with the ones that I'll forever love. We're waiting on a flash of green. And even when the nights got cold, you have always held me close. You're the only rock that I could ever stand on. You're the only one for me. The sun goes up, the sun comes down. This whole world keeps spinning round. I'm here traveling down this long and winding road. Seasons come and seasons go. They take me high, then leave me low. But I'm still standing on the only rock I know. You're my cornerstone. Oh, 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 no matter where I go, my cornerstone. Bible by my bedside, sweating through a long night, wrestling the hounds of shame. Trying to turn the hands back on a troubling past. Every move I make's in vain. But even in the shifting winds, you are who you've always been. You're the only rock that I could ever stand on. Through it all you remain. The sun goes up, the sun comes down. This whole world keeps spinning round. I'm here traveling down this long and winding road. This winding road. Your seasons come and seasons go. They take me high, then leave me low. But I'm still standing on the only rock I know. You're my cornerstone. I'm standing. All of the ground is sinking sand. On Christ, the solid rock, I'm standing. All of the ground is sinking sand. Oh, Christ, the solid rock, I'm standing. Yes, Lord. You're the only one that I will build my life on. Through it all you remain. The sun goes up, sun comes down. This whole world keeps spinning around. And I'm here traveling down this long and winding road. Seasons come, seasons go. I've been high and I've been low. But I'm standing on the only rock I know. You're my cornerstone.
You're listening to Keep the Faith. Hi, I'm Donna Cruz. When things are falling apart around you, it can feel like there's nowhere to turn. But more than ever, that's where you have to look up. You may know Ann Wilson from her songs like Sunday Sermons and My Jesus.
Let me tell you about my Jesus, and let my Jesus change your life.
Ann's road to a life in music actually started by singing at her older brother's funeral. He lost his life in a car accident, a tragedy that shook her family to the core.
Losing Jacob was really hard to get through. Still is kind of a daily struggle now 5 years later. But I think one of the things that really just was super important for me during that time was the Lord. And I had a great upbringing. I never had anything in my life up to that point that really truly caused me to trust God fully. And that was the first moment in my life where I actually had to fully trust God with my everything. I had to rely on Him. I had to have faith in Him. And that's really what changed for me. And so I think really the only thing that got me through was the Lord, as well as my family. I mean, we were so brokenhearted. We wanted to give up all the time. We just wanted to be in heaven with Jesus and Jacob and not have to experience that pain. But really what kept us going was knowing that He was in heaven with the Lord and that we had that hope. And after singing at the funeral, that's when God started opening these doors in the music industry and Christian music. So it's so cool to see how God has worked in my life and just brought so much beauty from the ashes of losing my big brother.
Ann Wilson has a lot more encouragement to share, and you can hear it when you check out CIA, Contagious Influencers of America. It's the free podcast from the producers of Keep the Faith, available wherever you get your podcast or at KeepTheFaith.com.
Are you past the point of weary? Is your burden weighing heavy? Is it all too much to carry? Let me tell you about my Jesus. Do you feel that empty feeling? 'Cause shame's done all it's stealing, and you're desperate for some healing. Let me tell you about my Jesus. He makes a way where there ain't no way. Rises up from an empty grave. Ain't no sinner that he can save. Let me tell you about my Jesus. His love is strong and his grace is free. And the good news is I know that he can do for you what he's done for me. Let me tell you about my Jesus. And let my Jesus change your life. Hallelujah. 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 Amen. Amen. You can wipe away the tears from broken dreams and wasted years and tell the past to disappear. Oh, let me tell you about my Jesus and all the wrong turns that you would going on to if you could. Who can work it all for your good? Let me tell you about my Jesus. He makes a way where there ain't no way. Rises up from an empty grave. Ain't no sinner that he can save. Let me tell you about my Jesus. His love is strong and his grace is free. And the good news is I know that he can do for you what he's done for me. Let me tell you about my Jesus. And let my Jesus change your life. Hallelujah. 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 Amen. Amen. You would take my cross to Calvary, pay the price for all my guilty. Who would care that much about me? Let me tell you about my Jesus. Oh, he makes a way where there ain't no way. Rises up from an empty grave. Ain't no sinner that he can save. Let me tell you about my Jesus. His love is strong and his grace is free. And the good news is I know that he can do for you what he's done for me. Let me tell you about my Jesus. And let my Jesus change your life. Hallelujah. 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 Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. 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 And let my Jesus change your life.
Contagious Encouragement on Keep the Faith.
'Cause I'll be by your side wherever you fall in the dead of night, whenever you call it.
I'm Scott Hamilton. Stories have a way of connecting us to each other, letting us know we're not alone and that there is hope. Would you share today? It can encourage so many people, and sharing it might even encourage you. Just call 800-726-4150. That's 800-726-4150.
My Doberman Pinscher. I love that little guy so much. Well, he's not a little guy, he's like a horse. But the one thing I like about him is, you know, I do a lot of rent collections at my job, and there's just days where I'm so stressed out, or the kids might be yelling, Mom, I need you to do this and that. And then there's some days where I go and step outside of my porch and all I want is my dog. You know, animals are so accepting, and it doesn't matter what you've done or how bad of a day they are, they're just always there for you. And that's one thing I love about my dog.
When I look back, I can see that you met my needs. hurts every time. Every moment you were holding, even the smallest details of my life, and I can testify. Oh, you never let me down, so I know you won't stop now. I may not know what tomorrow holds, but I know one thing for sure. Good Lord, I got the good Lord. And every day, every step of the way, it's you who open the door. And good Lord, I got the good Lord. And good Lord, I got the good Lord. It's still amazing how you saved me, how you took a million wrongs and made them right. Yeah, you made them right. Yeah, it's crazy how you raised me from 6 feet under shame back to life, and I got to testify. I may not know what tomorrow holds, but I know one thing for sure. Good Lord, I got a good Lord. And every day, every step of the way, it's you who open the door. Good Lord, I got a good Lord. Good Lord, I got a good Lord. And God is good all the time. Oh, God is good. God is good all the time. Yeah, God is good all the time. Yeah, God is good. God is good all the time. I may not know what tomorrow holds, but I know one thing for sure. Good Lord, I got a good Lord. And every day, every step of the way, it's you who open the door. And good Lord, I got a good Lord. Good Lord, I got a good Lord. Good Lord, I got a good Lord.
This is Keep the Faith. You've been given gifts over the years by your spouse, but maybe what you really need is the gift of understanding. Keep the Faith's longtime relationship chef, Dr. Joe Beam, shares next on Keep the Faith.
Trouble knocking at my door today. I ain't gonna let it in. And worry wanna steal my joy away, but I ain't gonna let it win. 'Cause on my best day, I'm a child of God. On my worst day, I'm a child of God. Oh, every day is a good day, and you're the reason why I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Got this heartbeat in my chest. No, it doesn't matter about the rest. If I got you, Lord, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Hallelujah, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed.
Okay. And when I count the problems that I see, hope looks all but gone. But when I count the ways you're good to
This is Keep the Faith.
Hey, I'm Keith Stevens. There's a reason that you and everyone around you do what you do. Dr. Joe Beam is the founder of Marriage Helper and shares how he's seen this idea play out with the couples he's worked with. You can get to know Joe better and take his free online mini course called Save My Marriage at lovestories.com.
If couples really want to learn more about each other, the way to do that is by sharing stories from their lives, particularly stories that preceded their being together. A couple I know, for example, were talking about a particular problem they had. They were arguing because he always bought the best of everything, spending the most money. They had the money, but she felt like it was being wasteful. As he started telling a story from his childhood, he told about how his parents had lived through the Depression and always thought the Depression was coming back, and therefore never spent money on anything if they didn't absolutely have to. When he was in what we would call middle school today, just before school started, he was begging them one night at dinner, "Please give me some decent clothes to wear this year. I cannot stand being made fun of by the other kids anymore because of my hand-me-downs or the cheap clothes that I wear." And they told him, "That's just too bad. The Depression's coming. You will have to dress like that, and whatever the kids say don't matter." Of course, it did matter. He was a kid. It hurt him badly. As he told that story to his wife, he actually wept because he relived it as he told it. She got an insight into him. He got an insight into him. All of a sudden, he realized, that's why I always buy the best. I don't want to be that little kid anymore that's embarrassed. She got an insight and said, "Honey, that's fine. From now on, if you want to buy the best, that's fine with me." But interestingly, he quit buying the best because now he understood the situation. Here's a recipe. To really learn more about each other, share your childhood stories. But as you do, allow yourself to relive it emotionally so the other person can see not only what you're telling, but how you feel or felt about what you're telling. You'll both learn a whole lot about each other.
There's torn up pages in this book, words that tell me I'm no good, chapters that define me for so long. But the hands of grace and endless love dusted off and picked me up, told my heart that hope is never gone. God is in this story. God is in the details. Even in the broken parts, He holds my heart. He never fails. When I'm at my weakest, I will trust in Jesus. Always in the highs and lows, the one who goes before me. God is in this story.
I think in this time, we got to remember to not be so consumed with discouraging news and reports. Throughout the Bible, we see that fear is a powerful manipulation tool. So it's difficult for us, but we try to live by, we got to stop fearing and start living, because if we let fear hold us back in so many other places throughout our life, we'd be too paralyzed to move forward.
I was standing faith, walk by faith, live by faith before you. Oh, I believe, standing faith.
This is Keep the Faith.
Maybe you've seen those He Gets Us commercials. Next on Keep the Faith, you'll hear how the encouragement is becoming contagious.
And this gentleman sitting beside me on a flight, he said, who do you work for? And I said, well, I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl. And I told him about He Gets Us. And he said, you've got to be kidding me.
The battle, you see my victory. When all I see is the mountain, you see a mountain moved. And as I walk through the shadow, your love surrounds me. There's nothing to fear now, for I am safe with you. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees, with my head lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet. I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And if you are for me, who can be against me? Yeah. For Jesus, there's nothing impossible for you. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. An almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Nothing can stand
Welcome to the home of contagious encouragement. Keep the faith.
All my words fall short. I got nothing new. How could I express all my gratitude? I could sing these songs as I often do, but every song must end, and you never do. So I throw up my hands and praise you again and again, 'cause all that I have is a hallelujah, hallelujah. And I know it's not much, but I've nothing else fit for a king, except for a heart singing hallelujah, hallelujah. I've got one response, I've got just one move, with my arms stretched wide, I will worship you, and I throw up my hands and praise you again and again, 'cause all that I have is a hallelujah, hallelujah. And I know it's not much, but I've nothing else fit for a king, except for a heart singing hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song, 'cause you've got a lion inside of those lungs. Get up and praise the Lord. Come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song, 'cause you've got a lion inside of those lungs. Get up and praise the Lord. So I throw up my hands and praise you again and again, 'cause all that I have is a hallelujah, hallelujah. And I know it's not much, but I've nothing else fit for a king, except for a heart singing hallelujah,
You're listening to Keep the Faith. I'm Donna Cruz. In our world today, faith can get a bad rap. But what if the camera angle was just a little different? The He Gets Us campaign introduces people to Jesus in a new way. Maybe you've seen the commercials like the one that played during pro football games on TV. Jordan Carson is a journalist and TV host who also happens to be the spokesperson for He Gets Us. She's hearing encouraging responses all over the place.
And this gentleman sitting beside me on a flight, he said, who do you work for? And I said, well, I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl. And I told him about He Gets Us. And he said, you've got to be kidding me. He said, my mom and I were watching TV. We saw the ad come up. He's like, my mom burst into tears and said, it's about time that we saw a commercial for Jesus to speak to people.
One of the main goals is to get us to love each other, and it plays out in unique ways.
If you would like to purchase a sweatshirt or a hat or, a sticker, and you go to the checkout, the only way that you can pay is by doing something good for someone else. You can do forgiveness, acts of kindness, and that is your currency instead of a monetary payment. It's really fantastic to see how many people have done this before and after the Super Bowl, and to know that it's spreading that love and trickling that kindness.
Thanks to Servant Foundation and the He Gets Us initiative for helping to make encouragement contagious here on Keep the Faith. More information is available at KeepTheFaith.com.
Dare to imagine, dare to believe in a true love that gave us a brand new beginning. No room for a king, no celebration and no ceremony. In that little town, no nobody with him. This is the story of the coming glory. Can you hear the prayers that people prayed? Can you see the skies begin to break? When heaven and earth were face to face, oh how the world forever changed. For God is with us. God is with us. All in a moment, all in an instant, the body was broken and it was finished. So let us begin the celebration and the ceremony. There's silence on earth, but the heavens are roaring, telling the story of the coming glory. Can you feel your heart begin to race? Can you see the tide begin to change? With all of our futures rearranged, the world will never be the same. For God is with us. God is with us. For God is with us. God is with us. For God is with us. Dare to imagine, dare to believe in a true love that gave us a reason for living. Can you feel the hope that's rushing in? Can you hear the song that's echoing? Join with the choir as we sing. This is where love truly begins. For God is with us. God is with us. For God is with us. God is with us. For God is with us. Oh, can you see? Oh, can you see? God is with us.
This is Keep the Faith, the home of contagious encouragement. Together, we're celebrating life with honest stories and songs of courage from people just like you.
Through every battle, through every heartbreak, through every circumstance, I believe that you are my fortress. Oh, you are my portion. You are my hiding place. Oh, I believe you are the way, the truth, and the life. I believe you are the way, the truth, and the life. I believe through every blessing, through every promise. new horizon. Oh, I'm set on you, and you meet me here today with mercies that are new. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay long when I'm here with you. It's a new horizon, and I'm set on you, and you meet me here today with mercies that are new. Oh yeah, my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay long when I believe you are the way, the truth, the light. I believe you are the way, oh, and the truth, the life. It's a new horizon. It's a new horizon, and I'm set on you, and you meet me here today. Mercies that are new, oh yeah. All my fears and doubts, they can all come true, because they can't stay long. No, when I'm here with you, the way, oh, when I'm here with you, the light. I believe you are the way, the truth. I'm here with you, the light. I believe you are.
Somebody who's relaxed, somebody who's enjoying life, enjoying the fact that God has made them secure, is going to stand out like you wouldn't believe in a culture that's incredibly stressed out and harried.
We were made to thrive.
This is Keep the Faith. I'm Brandy Lene with some contagious encouragement on Keep the Faith from Albert Einstein. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.
Oh, I have days to lose the fight, try my best, but just don't get it right. Where I talk a talk that I don't walk, and miss the moments right before my eyes. Somebody with a hurt that I could have helped, somebody with a hand that I could have held. When I just can't see past myself, Lord, help me be a little more like mercy, a little more like grace, a little more like kindness, goodness, love and faith, a little more like patience, a little more like peace, a little more like Jesus, a little less like me. Yeah, there's no denying I have changed. I've been saved from who I used to be. But even at my best, I must confess I still need help to see the way you see. Somebody with a hurt that I could have helped, somebody with a hand that I could have held. When I just can't see past myself, Lord, help me be a little more like mercy, a little more like grace, a little more like kindness, goodness, love and faith, a little more like patience, a little more like peace, a little more like Jesus, a little less like me. Oh, to feed the beggar on
it's like God said, Elisa, she didn't tell you she loved you because you wouldn't let her. And I thought, that's right. I had kept my defended role so clear because I couldn't risk being vulnerable to her. And I thought, oh my gosh, how do I do this with other people? How do I do this with my husband? Not let him love me. With my kids, not let them love me. With my friends, not let them love me. With God, how do I not let God love me? And because I don't, I'm stuck in this box of being ugly and not beautiful. But when I let him love me, I take those words he said over Jesus, this is my daughter. With her, I am well pleased.
You're beautiful.